In the previous two videos, I demonstrated that the float valve in this particular carburetor was leaking, and my deduction was that there was a problem with the seat of the valve rather than the needle, and that's because the needle was brand new. So what I proceeded to do is address the seat. Hopefully you can see here the result of this operation. And there are a number of ways to do that. The first way I would recommend is just using a Q-tip and use some carburetor cleaner and just chuck it up in a drill, and then give it a few revolutions, and then try to see if the situation improves. Because what you want to do is remove as little material as possible initially. So if that doesn't work, you can go to the next step and use a Q-tip with just a little bit of polish. The only potential problem with this approach is that there's really no guarantee that everything is going to stay concentric with the bore of the float valve. So there's some potential for kind of ovaling out the area that you're dressing. I haven't had that experience, but it is possible. So you don't want to overdo it, and then just again remove as little material as possible and see if the situation improves. If there is an issue, you can always use one of these tools. Here's the part number. It is a seat cutter tool, made in the USA. The tool basically has a little pilot that guides its operation, and then the cutter itself. When you use the tool, you want to make sure that as you contact the seat, the tool is spinning. Of course, you're doing this by hand. You don't want to press the tool down very hard. It just basically just use the weight of the tool to do the work. And as you contact the seat of the float valve, you need to be already spinning the cutter, and as you are ready to remove the cutter from contact with the seat, you want to also have it be spinning. So you never want to stop the cutter when it's in contact with the float valve. So the advantage that this provides is that if, God forbid, you did oval the area out with your Q-tip, you can always bring it back to the circular, and also provide a little bevel that hopefully will match the bevel of the float valve needle. Now, what I did is I used this first, and just to take a little bit of material off, and so then I followed it up with some polish, and I was able to actually maintain about 5 psi with the full weight of the float on the needle, which means that this valve is going to seal very well in service.